Hello and welcome to Spirit Among Us. Ephesians chapter 1 verses 22 and 23. And he put all things under his feet and gave him as head over all things to the church, which is his body, the fullness of him who fills all in all. Yesterday we talked about how we are the representatives of Christ here on earth. Since we have been united with him, we are actually members of his body. And so we must walk in a way worthy of the calling to which we've been called. But I want to take a look at what Paul states after this. He takes the previous statement a step further. Not only are we his body in this world, not only are we doing his work and representing him, but we are actually his fullness. Now, how can this be? How can anyone claim that they are the fullness of God here on earth? Well, let's look a little closer at that statement. Now, obviously, we cannot actually be God because we aren't. He is the creator and we are the creation. He is perfect and we are imperfect. To say we are the fullness of God does not mean that we are God. It also doesn't mean that we perfectly resemble his image here on earth, because we can't do that either. So what can this mean here? If we are being his fullness, what does that involve? I believe this is describing the act of how God displays himself through his people. No, we cannot perfectly display him. We cannot perfectly represent him, but he still chooses to display himself through us. And he doesn't just display one attribute of himself through us, but all of them. Now, he does this individually and corporately. In other words, we are told that the Holy Spirit grants certain gifts to some people and not to others. Certain spiritual gifts, that is. This means that one Christian would display God in a certain way more than someone else would, and vice versa. It's like how someone can be given the gift of teaching, and someone else the gift of serving. Both are equally important gifts, both are displaying attributes of God, but each person is able to display the gift to a degree that aligns with what's been given to them, with what the Holy Spirit enables them to do. To put it another way, God uses different people to demonstrate and display himself in different ways. However, from more of a corporate standpoint, we are able to represent God more fully, or, if you will, in his fullness, by coming together as one body and using our gifts collectively to glorify God and love each other. We are displaying his fullness here on earth. Now, in addition to this, God chooses to display his fullness by what he has accomplished in his church. He has saved us, cleansed us from all our sin, and secured our eternal future with him. This is an incredible display of God's fullness. John Piper puts it this way in one of his sermons on this text. Christ fills the universe with his glory by showing the universe his body, how he chose her, how he destined her, how he came for her and taught her and suffered for her and died for her and rose for her and reigns for her. How he called her and justified her and cleansed her and kept her and will raise her and glorify her and satisfy her forever and ever with himself. How incredible of a mystery this is. God has chosen to display his perfections in all their fullness through imperfect people. Thank God today for being so blessed to participate in this extravagant display. Thank you for watching, and God bless.